Hello, Assalamu alaikum. This is Abdul Baqi, and I'm going to take you through this hands-on demo on how to populate the logical framework within the OMS system. So as you can see in front of me, I have opened this sample project which we're gonna work with, the urban water supply project. So when you are in this project page, you have all those sections here. Where you'll find the logical framework is extreme to the right. So you just scroll to the right, and then here it is, the logical framework. So if this is the first time that you are attempting to input the logical framework, you'll find nothing over there, and then it says create the logical framework. Okay. If you don't see this link, create the logical framework, then it might be something related to your access rights and something. So you need to add yourself as a resource to the project in order to be able. So you need to just make sure that you are part of the project resources here, the list of people who are able to access the project. So then you should be able to, if you have the proper right access, you'll be able to see this link. So all you have to do is to create logical framework, and immediately you will see that all those layers have been now created. All of them are empty. You just need to expand and collapse and expand to start populating all those layers. So let's go and save it the first time. Okay. So what happens now, the first time the logical framework is created. Okay. And so next time when you click on the logical framework, you will find not that link, rather these various layers, although they are empty. But actually it's not empty. As you can see, some of the things have been pulled automatically by OMS to make your life easier, particularly those that are related to the financial input. So one might attempt to start in a logical manner, starting from top one by one, but that will not be a good strategy. Why? Because as you have seen, the input is already been pre-populated by the system. And similarly, the key activities section will be also pre-populated, as well as the first layer, which is the contribution. The CSIs, core sector indicators, will be pre-populated based on what you will enter in the outcomes and outputs. So what I will advise you really is to start with the impact. Don't touch the first layer, and also don't touch the input, and don't touch the key activities. Rather start from the impacts, and that's the easiest part, and then the outcomes and the outputs. Okay. So once you have done these three layers, you'll find elements from them are grabbed here in the first layer, as well as in the key activities, as we will see here. So let's get started with populating these things. And I think all of you will not start here, but rather you wanted to create it somewhere outside first in a Word template, so that it becomes just cut and paste over here. And I think that's the more sensible way to start with. So I have created a template. Let me show you here, that I will share later. You can use a similar template where I have basically made the same design as you saw in the OMS, that you start with this one, which I said you will not populate, and then this is the impact, which now will start, and then the outcomes, the outputs. These are the three things that we're gonna start with in that sequence. And then I told you the key activities will be taken from the previous section, which is the outputs here. Okay. What you need to enter here later on, we'll see, is anything that is related to project management activity as a key, activities, you can enter it in the OMS. And the input section, I just cut and pasted from that screen, so I don't have to manually enter it over here. So this is a basic template I think will be very helpful for you to start populating this template first. So in order just to save some time, I have entered two of the impacts here. Reduction in infant mortality and reduction in waterborne disease. By the way, this might not reflect the actual project as it is in the RRP. Just as an experiment, I just added something hypothetical here, although relevant, but just to for the sake of some variety here, I have added the second one here. So basically, what we need is three things: the impact, from where you knew about this impact. So there is a source document, might be some national statistics or some organization reports, and refer back to which section it refers. So let me just skip this aside here. So how you'll do it, you click on the edit now. If you wanted to start populating the things, you just click on the edit in the bottom right corner. So once I create the edit, you will see something like this. So we expand the impact, and you will see this plus sign. That means here is the way we start adding the impact, and immediately this screen pops up here. So the first thing we said, I'll just copy this thing and paste it over here: reduction in infant mortality. You can see here something called project defined. If it is defined in your project, you don't need to refer to anything. But if it is not, then this source needs to be entered. So I have for this one, the source is the statistics department, and this is just a hypothetical thing, so I'm not referring to actual sections or something, just for the sake of giving you an example. I just enter it over. Immediately you'll see the first one coming here, and now we wanted to add second one. Sure enough, we can just add this as we did in the first example. Reduction in waterborne, and it's a WHO report. Let me just type it, WHO report, and again just let me throw some random section here. Okay, and just save it. Simple. Okay, you can of course reorder things. You want to make that up, down, so all these provisions are there. Also you can come back, edit, change something, so all these things are there. Don't forget to press save, and then you are good to go. So when you expand the impacts, now you see that these are already available for you. So I think I have spent some time here, so I think let's close up the first part over here with a little bit of summary again. You'll find the logical framework in the tab towards the extreme right. You come here, there will be a link. If it was the first time, it says create a logical framework. And then when you click that, a logical framework is created. You save it. You come back here and start populating here by pressing the edit. And as I said, a good step is that you use an impact first, then the outcome and the output, and leave the other sections for later on. The input is already populated for you from the financial figures of the project, and the key activities will be eventually populated for you. So just concentrate on these first three layers. And I think just to test a little bit of what we said, let's just go through some of the questions in this short quiz, and then please follow me on the second part of this tutorial. Assalamu alaikum.